This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming.
Hey guys, back with another Fallout 4 countdown for you guys, and today I figured I would talk about some of Fallout 4's vaults. More specifically, I'll be talking about some of these locations and what kinds of experiments they were going to undertake. We've got everything as dark from like social experiments to like drug rehabilitation experiments and even experiments on children. So without further ado, these will be the top 7 best vault experiments and locations in Fallout 4. Number 7. Vault-88. Now, this requires the Vault-tec Workshop DLC, and we don't really know a whole lot about this particular vault, as it's part of the Vault-tec Workshop DLC, and at the time of making this video, Vault-tec Workshop DLC isn't officially out yet. Now, what we do know about Vault-88 is that it is home to a ghoul overseer. You can either kill her or ask her to leave. However, if you let her stay, she will allow you to engage in some experiments. Now, like Vault 114, where you meet Nick Valentine, Vault 88 was incomplete by the times the bomb fell during the Great War. Mostly, this place has been left as rubble, where Vault 114 was a little more preserved, thanks to it being within a subway system. There's a lot of space to build in Vault 88 though, and according to the developers, you can unlock more areas to build as you complete quests. Like I said earlier, I do realize I'm being somewhat vague about this vault, but we don't really know a lot about Vault 88 as Vault 88 and the Vault-tec Workshop DLC haven't been released yet. Number 6. Vault 95, Fallout 4's vanilla game. Vault 95 was built by Vault-tec to experiment with drug rehabilitation, as described in a terminal entry, and I quote, "After 5 calendar years, your objective will shift. You will open the hidden storage compartment you were shown during your training. Allow the residents to discover the stash of chems within on their own. Once it has been discovered, you are to thoroughly document the response of the community." And essentially the purpose of this vault was to test people's response to temptation of drugs, and this would have been pretty strong because they were former drug addicts. As you can probably imagine, the reintroduction of drugs broke solidarity among the vault members, and they began killing one another. While Vault 95 is currently uninhabited by the original dwellers, it is inhabited by gunners, and they have control over the area. And it's worth coming to Vault 95 if you need some chems. You can also get the Big Guns bobblehead, and according to the Fallout Wiki, you can get a lot of aluminum here, perfect for upgrading weapons and power armor. You can also stash your aluminum at the nearby settlement Somerville Place, and then link Somerville Place with other settlements via supply lines. Number 5. Vault 81, Fallout 4 vanilla game. Vault 81's mission was to research infectious diseases and antibodies and find cures to them. You find this out during the Hole in the Wall side quest mission, where you find one of Vault 81's inhabitants has come down with a fatal disease. Your job is to enter the previously restricted areas of the vault in order to investigate and find a cure. And what happens is you ultimately find Curie, who reveals she has developed a cure to all diseases. You can choose whether to use it on yourself or help the young vault dweller. This is worth mentioning, but Vault 81 and Vault 118 are the only vaults in Fallout 4 that are left with the descendants or the actual living members. If Vault 81's original experiment were more successful, I think it is safe to say that there might not be any more living dwellers within Vault 81, as the primary goal was to develop a cure to diseases, not to necessarily protect the lives of the vault inhabitants. Now, going to Vault 81 has a decent amount of benefits. You get introduced to a new companion named Curie. You can also acquire the Syringer rifle here, and you can also purchase the Overseer's Guardian, which is the best combat rifle in Fallout 4. Number 4. Vault 75, Fallout 4 vanilla game. So it's possible that you've beaten Fallout 4 and that you haven't actually found this vault before. This is because Vault 75 is located underneath Malden Middle School, and the closest settlement to this location is Greentop Nursery, in case you're curious. Upon reading some of the terminal entries, you'll discover that Vault 75 was a top-secret military program. The chief scientist's terminal says, quote, "The mission of Vault 75, above all, is the refinement of human genetics. Their intention was to create the perfect soldier by experimenting on children ranging between 6 and 13 years old. As you can imagine, children were subjected to both severe mental and physical trauma in the attempts to perfect the human genome." Like Vault 95, this area has been largely taken over by gunners, and the original dwellers are missing. It's unclear what happened to the dwellers of Vault 75, though I think it's fair to say that there was probably some revolt, as when you enter the area, you'll notice that the vault door is open. Now, it's worth your time to come to Vault 75 solely for the science bobblehead. Otherwise, there isn't really a lot of other really good stuff here, but the science bobblehead is a pretty good item. Number 3, Vault 114, Fallout 4 Vanilla Game. Now, this is another vault that you will enter during the main quest for Fallout 4. Now, if you don't know, you come here to free Nick Valentine from the Triggermen who have taken over this particular vault. And like Vault 88, Vault 114 was unfinished before the bombs started to drop, though thanks to its location within a subway system, it appears to be relatively well intact. Vault 114 appears to have been an experiment in which Vault-tec would study the effects of a role reversal between elite members of society and just commoners, where societal elites essentially lived like poor people. According to the Vault-tec terminal, and I quote, "As mentioned in your briefing, Vault 114 will be hosting a high-ranking member of local and state government, local luminaries, business people, and their families." What you can find out upon further reading is that you'll find that Vault-tec told these residents that their accommodations would be luxurious when they actually weren't going to be. And what they also were going to do is they planned on getting an overseer with a, quote, "strong anti-authority bias." So basically, the common man was going to rule over the societal elites. Like I said, you pretty much come here during the main quest, so you can't really miss Vault 114. You can get the speech bobblehead here, as well as Nick Valentine as a companion. Otherwise, there are some interesting interview tapes for potential overseer candidates. Number 2, Vault 111. Now, obviously, this is the vault that you're going to be the most familiar with, as this is the vault you enter at the very beginning of Fallout 4 to escape nuclear annihilation. Now, according to Vault 111's security terminal, quote, "Vault 111 is designed to test the long-term effects of suspended animation on unaware human subjects. This seems to be one of the more tame experiments planned by Vault-tec. From what you can ascertain by reading some of the terminal entries, Vault 111 doesn't appear to have lasted more than 1 year after its initial activation when the bombs dropped. The security staff ultimately revolted against both the Overseer and the science staff due to some disagreements. You will have to visit Vault 111 to even start Fallout 4. You can acquire most of the valuable loot here, like the Pip-Boy and the Red Menace game, when you first awake from cryogenic suspension. You can eventually come back to Vault 111 and pick up the Cryolator once you have the ability to unlock Master Locks. And while I haven't tried this myself, according to the Fallout Wiki, you can use the water fountain here to fill empty containers with purified water. So this might be worth noting if you decide to play through survival mode. And finally, number 1, and that is going to be Vault 118, and this requires the Far Harbor DLC. Vault 118 is somewhat similar to Vault 114 in the sense that the goal of the experiment was to observe interactions with society's elite members and the working class. Vault 118 was built near a hotel to acquire residents of all backgrounds, including society's elite and just the working class. You eventually find out that the testing parameters are changed somewhat. Members from Test Group A managed to keep the working class out of the vault entirely, and then they had their brains placed into RoboBrain robots, and then they locked the Overseer out of the rest of the area and ultimately left him to die. This is a very interesting vault from all of the rest in Fallout 4, as it has more luxurious accommodations for the wealthy members, and the other section for the working class doesn't even appear to be complete. Thanks to members being preserved in RoboBrains, Vault 118 has some of the original dwellers within it, unlike Vault 81, which does have living members, but they're just descendants of the original people. Now, there are a lot of reasons to come to Vault 118. You can acquire the Fence Buster baseball bat here, which is a unique baseball bat, and you can also take part in a fun side quest mission called Brain Dead, which is likely inspired by the board game and movie franchise called Clue. Anyway, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this particular video. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, and as always, take care, and I'll see you all next time.